Friends, how are you all? Today I have brought another new movie for you. The name of this movie is Brahmastra movie. This movie is based on a story where a powerful weapon is shown, one that has the ability to destroy the entire world. The name of this weapon is Brahmastra. Without wasting time, let's start the story. At the beginning of the movie, we see that some Indian sages bring the Brahmastra to earth through their deep meditation. From the power of this weapon, several other divine weapons are created, including various forms of fire energy and other powerful forces. These weapons were used by the sages, which is why they were called Brahmins. Later, they divide the powerful Brahmastra into 3 parts and entrust them to 3 Brahmins, so that it does not fall into the hands of any evil force. Because if it does, that force would gain the power to destroy the entire world. Meanwhile, we are shown Shiva, the protagonist of the movie, goes to a New Year festival. After reaching the festival, he closes his eyes and starts meditating, and suddenly he enters a world of imagination. In his vision, he sees a powerful scientist named Mohan. Mohan is experimenting with a broken object. At that moment, 2 men arrive there and try to take that object. But it is not an ordinary broken item, it is actually a fragment of the Brahmastra. Mohan refuses to give it to them. Since he is a Brahmin, he throws the object away, and while doing so, he casts a spell on it, changing its form. The 2 men search for it but fail to find it. When they attempt to attack Mohan, he uses the anklet that holds the power of a monkey and wears it on his feet. Using that power, he begins to fight them. They also fight back, but they cannot defeat him because he possesses the monkey's power. Eventually, Mohan tricks them and escapes. Later, when he returns to his home, he restores the fragment back to its original Brahmastra form. At that moment, the 2 villains return with their queen, who also possesses some divine powers. Using her powers, they capture Mohan and take the Brahmastra fragment from him. At that moment, Shiva opens his eyes because there was a lot of noise and shouting around him. As soon as he opens his eyes, his imagination breaks. He starts thinking about what he just saw. While thinking, his eyes fall on a beautiful girl standing there. He doesn't know her, but for your convenience, her name is Isha. At first sight, he likes her, but he cannot say anything. Later, he attends another party, which is a personal event, and there he meets Isha again. This time, he doesn't want to lose her, so he rushes into a lift and tells her that he likes her. Isha also starts feeling attracted to him. She says, "We are going somewhere, come with us." But Shiva replies, "I have a special party to attend, so I can't go. Give me your phone number, I will contact you." However, Isha refuses to give her number and says, "I invited you to my party, but you didn't want to take me to yours." At first, Shiva stays silent, but later he agrees and says he will take her to his party. Despite her friends warning her, Isha trusts Shiva and goes with him. But after reaching there, she realizes that it's not a grand party, it's actually a small birthday celebration for orphan children. After seeing this, Isha feels very good because she takes care of orphan children. She herself is an orphan. Her father died before she was born, and her mother passed away when she was just 1 year old. That's why she lives in that house, so she can keep her mother's memories alive. But while Shiva is telling her all this, he suddenly gets a severe headache. Then he again enters that dream-like world. There, he sees that the scientist Mohan has been captured and tied up, and they are torturing him badly. They want to know where the Brahmastra pieces are. Under pressure, Mohan reveals one name and says that another piece is with Gurudev. However, he refuses to reveal Gurudev's location. To protect the secret, he frees himself and jumps to his death. After that, we see morning arrives. When Shiva had that headache, he left Isha and went into another room, where he collapsed. An old man sees him and says, "Have you started taking drugs?" Because he was sitting in a strange, unconscious state. Then suddenly Shiva realizes that he left Isha alone. He quickly runs back to the room, but she is no longer there. The children tell him, "Isha has left. She waited for you for 2 hours, but you didn't come." Then one child says, "Don't worry, Isha is my Facebook friend. I'll find her for you." Since Shiva had already told them about Isha, they try to help him. The child finds a post saying that there is a puja at Isha's house that day. Following that post, Shiva reaches her house. After arriving, he notices a newspaper reporting the death of the same person he saw dying in his dream. The report says it was suicide. Shiva is shocked because he witnessed it in his vision. How could that be possible? To confirm, he searches the news on a laptop. Since the laptop is connected to a projector, the news appears on a big screen, and people around start questioning it. Isha notices Shiva and asks everyone to take a 5-minute break and step outside. When everyone leaves, she talks to Shiva privately. At that moment, Shiva reveals everything to her. Then Shiva tells Isha, "This is not suicide, it's murder. What I saw last night was not a dream, it was real. I had a headache and went to another room, and that's when I saw this man being killed." Isha is shocked and asks how it's possible. Shiva replies that he also saw another target, Anish Shetty, an artist from Varanasi. Isha searches online and finds that everything Shiva said matches. There is indeed a person named Anish Shetty in Varanasi, and his face matches what Shiva saw. Shiva decides to go there, and Isha insists on going with him. Though Shiva warns her about danger and suggests calling the police, he believes they won't trust him. Isha refuses to let him go alone, so they both leave together. They travel and eventually reach by boat. On the way, something strange happens. When Shiva touches the water, a floating lamp's flame moves across the water and touches his hand, but it doesn't burn him. Isha is shocked and scared at first, but later sees his hand is unharmed. Shiva explains that fire cannot burn him. Isha initially gets angry but later understands and calms down. Later, while sitting on the steps, a girl accidentally bumps into Isha, causing her to almost fall. But the girl quickly catches her, saving her from falling. Isha then thanks her. Then Shiva realizes that the girl is none other than the same one who used magic to kill the scientist Mohan. He tells Isha, "This is that same girl. She has come here to kill the artist. Let's follow her." They follow her into a building and notice another man sitting on the rooftop, which surprises them. The man looks down, where the artist is standing, and then jumps from one building to another. Seeing this, Isha is shocked. Shiva explains, "Don't be surprised. He has the power of a monkey in his feet. That glowing thing you see is that power. It originally belonged to Mohan, but they took it from him and killed him." They continue searching for the artist while being chased by the villains. Isha cleverly distracts them by entering a room and closing the door, making them think the artist is inside. Meanwhile, Shiva reaches the artist to warn him, but one of the villains appears. Isha distracts him by asking for his phone, saying her battery is dead, and keeps him busy. During this time, Shiva hides the artist and tells him that his life is in danger and he came to save him. Later, Isha calls Shiva and says, "Where are you? I'm downstairs. Come this way so we can escape." Unfortunately, the villain overhears this and confronts her, saying, "So you got a phone? And it charged so quickly. I heard everything. Now tell me where the artist is." Isha starts shouting for Shiva. Shiva rushes in and attacks the villain, hitting him several times. But the villain, having the monkey power, overpowers him. When the villain is about to shoot again, the artist steps in front and takes the bullet in his chest, and then the artist. The artist falls to the ground after being shot. Even in that state, he uses the Nandi Astra in his hand to strike the villain and push him away. Soon, Junoon and her companions arrive at the scene. The artist then strikes the ground with the Nandi Astra, breaking the floor and creating a tunnel. They escape through the tunnel and flee the place in a car. On the way, Isha tells the artist, "You've been shot in the chest. We need to take you to a hospital." But the artist refuses and says, "No, I don't need a hospital. I must go to the ashram." At first, he hesitates to reveal the ashram's location, as it is a very important place. But after seeing Shiva and Aisha's sincerity, he writes down the address on their phone. They then begin their journey, which takes around 20 hours, driving all night. After a long drive, they stop to rest. Isha checks on him and is surprised to see that his wound has completely healed. The artist explains, "This is the power of the Nandi Astra. It holds the strength of 1,000 Nandis, bulls." Then Shiva talks about another weapon, the Brahmastra fragment that Junoon is searching for, the same weapon used to kill Mohan. This weapon is divided into 3 parts, and one of those parts is with the artist. The artist takes out the piece from his pocket. As soon as Shiva sees it, he experiences a vision and senses that Junoon has arrived nearby. Looking around, they realize someone is watching them. The artist quickly tells Shiva and Isha to escape with the car, while he stays behind to face the danger. To stop Junoon and her team, the artist stays behind while Shiva and Isha escape in a car. The artist uses the power of 1,000 Nandis to strike a truck, causing it to overturn. He then tries to push the truck into a gorge. However, Junoon regains consciousness and starts shooting at him. Despite this, the artist does not back down. He rises again and manages to throw them into the gorge. But in the end, he also falls into the gorge and dies. Shiva witnesses all of this through his hallucinations. He tells Isha, 2 of them have fallen into the gorge, and the artist is dead. Isha then asks, 2. Then where is the third one? Where is Raftar? At that moment, they see Raftar standing on a rooftop, watching them. They immediately drive away, but Raftar, who has the monkey power, jumps onto their car. A fierce fight begins inside the vehicle. At one point, Raftar tries to throw Isha out of the car, but Shiva cleverly saves her. When Raftar attacks again from the front, they trap his hand inside the car and drive toward the gorge. At the last moment, Shiva and Isha jump out, and Raftar falls into the gorge along with the car. They then reach the ashram gate. Shiva enters inside, but Raftar climbs back up from the gorge and attacks Isha again. Shiva stretches out his hand, and flames emerge, surrounding Raftar and throwing him back into the gorge. Seeing all this, the ashram's guru understands the situation. He rushes out and opens the main gate. Meanwhile, Shiva collapses on the ground, unconscious. The most exciting parts are coming very soon. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and stay with us, because something amazing is on the way. Rocket.